getting started. The Scarlet Knights will get us underway with the opening kickoff. Looks like a penalty on the kickoff as the ball goes out of bounds.
Ready, set. All right, offense, keep pushing the ball downfield.
Got it behind the line. It's Miller. He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the first down. This is the kind of game, a top 25 matchup in the early season that you look for when you're trying to build your resume.
Yeah, these are so fun because as a player you kind of get bored if you don't get challenged, but when you got an early season challenge like this, all the adrenaline, all the juice, Palmer, you're ready to rock and roll.
I love this. We've had
Running free. Just what they were looking for. A huge explosive play, and they're inside the 15 at the 13-yard line. After ripping off a huge chunk of yardage, now they've got it 1st and 10 from the 13. Pulled down at the 11-yard line as they inch closer and closer to pay dirt.
Man, a nice second effort by the back to break a tackle, but how about those defensive backs willing to come up, stick their face in the fan, and make a tackle?
those are the best run defenses too, right? It's not just D linemen and linebackers getting all the plays, but it's DBs that are willing to not just cover, but tackle backs in the open field.
Boy, they love to move the sticks here and take a shot at it on 1st and goal. Making side adjustments here. Lewis to throw. Looking to buy time. He caught it. And he will score. Touchdown, Bucks. You want to talk about a great way to start the game and set the tone early.
It's so nice to have a quarterback just get himself into the game, get himself established. You make a couple throws, you lead your offense down the field, you score right off the bat. Could not have been a better start for that QB.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. He's going to take a chance from midway in his end zone. He gets it across the 25 to the 27 after bringing it out of the end zone. On the run, it's Ball. Defense fills those gaps. He's got 1 to the 28.
And what's the closest guy to the football, man? It's those defensive tackles, and those guards and centers have to work together. They got to get those guys and get some movement. They don't on this play, and the big fella eats. Nowhere to go. When you run into him, you usually meet the ground.
2nd down, they'll go to the air. Flips it out on the screen. Not a whole lot of room there on that screen pass as it just never developed.
Well, your opponent scored on their opening drive, so obviously no need to panic. But I know, having been in this situation as a quarterback, you want to answer right away. So really good to see him making some nice throws here on their opening drive. He's going to try and see if he can get this thing tied up.
Looking to pass. It's Underwood. Bought a little time. Lets it go. And they fail to hook up on 3rd down.
Man, the quarterback threw that ball hard, too. And I know sometimes when you're throwing an in-breaking route, you want to get it to your receiver quickly. But when you try to strain and throw it harder, oftentimes your accuracy is what suffers. And you saw it there on the incompletion.
Slips one guy, and now he's loose. Touchdown, Buffalo! Special teams proving to be special.
you can play touch football in an elevator with them and lose. You can't even get your hand on those. So quick, so elusive. Does such a great job making people miss, but still going full speed up the field to get all the way to the end zone and score the TD.
They already have the lead, and they're trying to build it here in the first quarter with an onside kick. They're on it. They recover the onside kick, and they get it right back.
Well, it's one thing to be aggressive. It's another thing to be greedy, and that's what they're doing now. They've got the lead, and they're like, no, we're still going to go onside kick this thing and try to maintain possession and just not give you the ball back. And that's exactly what they did. They go up.
Turning it on. Makes that one pay off, and they finally get him down at the 38. It'll be first down.
And who says you can't run up the middle anymore, right? Everybody thinks I got to make big plays. I got to go way out to the left, way out to the right, way out in space. Nope, right down the middle. Nice blocking. How about the running back? You could tell the speed, the wheels, does a great job getting down the field, making a huge rushing play.
You know when you're playing against a defense of this caliber, you're going to have some sort of balance, right? You can't just drop back and throw it every single play. Nothing going on that last run. They're going to have to find another way to get it going and handing the ball off.
Lost one on that last one. It's 2nd and 11. That one comes out hot down the right side. Defense makes a stop, but the chains move, and it's 1st and goal from the 8.
As a head coach, you love it when your quarterback is locked in early. Opening drive, throws a touchdown pass. Really nice throw on that last play. Here in the second drive, he's firing on all cylinders. You can tell this guy did his homework coming into this game, and right now it's paying off.
The big fella in the middle, man. Those defensive tackles, they go such a long way in deciding and really stopping the other team's run game. Just forcing contact with those guards and those centers, owning the line of scrimmage, and getting running backs on the ground.
He'll run it to the middle, looking for the end zone. And he'll race it to the house. Touchdown, Colorado! These guys are really hitting their stride in week 4 as they push out that lead. Follow the blockers. The offensive line will take you to the hallelujah land.
And I tell you what, most of the time, Reese, it requires a little bit of skill to find that hole and, slither through a little crack. That was not a crack.
Picked off inside the 20, and they snuff out the threat.
2-point plays, the windows are very small to throw into. That time, he just tried to force it into a tiny window, ended up being picked, and the offense comes away with no points.
Kickoff unit getting some extra work as this lead has really grown. No reason to risk trying to field that one as it skips through the end zone. It'll be a touchback. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. Forges ahead. Picks up about 3 to the 29.
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive. Stick your foot in the ground. Pick up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
Using his legs to buy some time. Gets rid of it. He'll grab the throw to the sideline and step out of bounds after picking up a few.
God, he's annoying to play against. You think about it as a defense, I'm trying to cage you in, trying to keep you in the pocket, and then he's just whoop, 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 spinning all over the place, getting outside the pocket, making plays, and then you got to go chase him again and again and again. Just wears you out.
Here they're trying to get to the edge. Brings him to the open. Oh, he just handled it poorly, and it's a fumble. And the defense got it.
I would love to tell you he should have gotten the first down and slid or got down, but that's not what running backs do. They're trying to get extra plays, and I know he had the first down, but he's thinking touchdown. That little bit of extra effort, you could tell, forced the turnover, forced the fumble, defense recovers.
Hit hard just as he released it on first down and just couldn't get it to the receiver. Time winding down in the quarter as they come to the line. Looking for space, it's Welch. Got enough for the first, and he's still going. They get him on the ground, and with that, we'll head to the second quarter. Guys, Colorado has the lead here, and they jumped out to that edge early. As we wrap up the first, let's take a quick look at our game stats. This could be a pivotal moment in this game as we open the second period and they try to find a way to answer. So first down here as they go back to work. Lewis wants to pass. Going for it all. Broken up, incomplete, and nearly intercepted in the end zone. It'll be second down.
Well, this quarterback has really found a nice rhythm early, and he's in firm control and command of everything that's happening. They've had 2 drives, they've scored 2 touchdowns, and here on their third possession, he still wants to take shots. That one obviously falls incomplete, but if you're him, I would keep spinning the bean.
Backed up now, here's second and long. They go to the ground. Drives ahead for 3 to the 27-yard line.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
Ball spotted at the 27. They're facing a third and long to try to keep their hopes of a touchdown alive. Got it in the middle. It's Williams. That'll be enough for the first down, and now they've got it at the 15-yard line. Third down, a lot of times it comes down to not necessarily who's the most open, who do you trust the most?
Yeah, it's not about the X's and the O's. It's about the Jimmies and the Joes. And when my guy's better than you and I get you matched up out wide and I know I trust you, I'm finding you.
He was open, he had it, and he dropped it. Would have been a touchdown. Instead, it's second down. Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on second down. Misfired on the last play. They'll go back to the air. Got it in the middle. It's Miller. They'll spot the ball at the 12 after that completion. The Buffaloes racing to the line in the hurry up. Wide receiver going in motion. Caught behind the line. It's Miller. And after that short completion, what will they do now? Just a few inches to go.
And you wanted to get the ball out quick, and you wanted your receiver to make the play for you and get the first down. You don't now. Decision time, 4th and short.
Less than a yard to go for a first down, and the offense will remain on the field. Big man has it. It's a first down and more. And he'll haul it in and take it to the end zone. Touchdown, Bucks!
That's number 2 on the day, having a day. I mean, you know he's going to catch the football, and you know he's going to make plays after he catches. Those are the kind of guys that you feature and you find them, and they produce like this, you keep finding them.
They're set to kick it off. You think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? Don't know if the defense will appreciate having to defend a short field from the start after that penalty. Leaves it with the back. Able to scrounge 3 yards out of that one somehow. It's 2nd and 7.
And the defense doing a great job committing to the run. When you commit to the run like this, obviously you can give up some plays in the passing game, but you got to stop the run first.
And the pass is incomplete thanks to a big hit. Let's see what they find in the playbook for 3rd and long from the 43. Looking to throw, it's Underwood. Going for the big play. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers.
This is a point where you just got to be able to focus. The critical down and distances in this game, like that 3rd down right there. When it's a good throw, you got to make the catch. You got to be able to make that play.
And the punt hits at the 8 and goes into the end zone for the touchback. And the Colorado offense is coming back onto the field. What a good mix of plays, keeping that defense off balance last time, David.
And Reese, they don't know if it's run or if it's pass. They got him right.
picked off. What a play to set him up. He managed a few yards on that return, but the bigger play was the fact that they forced the turnover.
I tell you what, it puts you in a tough position when you're backed up inside your own 20 trying to come out. But when you're a defense and you can force a turnover and you already set your offense up in scoring position, they are going to be extremely happy, and that offensive coordinator is going to look extremely smart.
He'll be hauled down just inside the 10 at the 9 as they're trying to turn this into a score. It'll be second down, and remember, they can pick up a first without scoring. Pulls and fires complete to the right. Good throw and catch. Takes it down to the 5 as the offense tries to cash in.
Nice route there by the tight end, making it real easy for his quarterback to find an easy completion.
Boy, they'd love to pick up this conversion and go to work with a first and goal. They turn to the passing game on 3rd and short. Under fire. And he'll step into the end zone. Touchdown, Rutgers. Well, just as you would expect, that didn't take very long.
It didn't, Reese, and you've got to make great field position count. When you've got opportunities, you got to pay it off. And the offense took advantage, scoring a touchdown. Didn't have far to go, but they got the points they needed.
And they tacked on the extra point. They are way down, and they'll try to cut into it by getting this onside kick. They're on it, and they get it back for another drive.
The hands team on the receiving unit has got to do a better job. You have got to make sure you end up with the football.
Let's see if they can get something going here late in the half. Looking for a man. It's Underwood. Get it out on the screen. Fights off a defender.
Yeah, and you're going to see this offense find different ways to get this running back involved. It's not just going to be on handoffs, and they're certainly going to line him up in different places and even throw him the football. But the screen game's a big part of it, too. They're trying to get him going there.
Second down, they'll go to the air. Fires to the middle. It's picked off, and they ruin the drive with a turnover. Looking for more room. He's at the 30. He's at the 10. Touchdown, Buffaloes! And what a turn of events as this defense gets the pick 6. Look, I know it's only the second quarter, but we're starting to see a pretty significant gap develop between these two teams right now.
No doubt. When your defense is scoring, your offense is scoring, good things happening for your ball club. This defense on point, reading their scouting report, making big plays.
Kickoff unit has been busy as they have built a big lead, and they're trying to hold on to it. Looks like he's going to bring it out. Gets it out to the 20, about 5 yards short of where he'd be if he had just taken a knee in the end zone. They've got a little time here to put together a productive drive late in the half. Off-play action on first down. The sweet feet buy a little time. On the run deep down the right side. And they won't make the connection, looking to make a big play there.
I love that play call by the offensive coordinator. Your quarterback just threw a pick 6. You want to pick him right back up, right? So don't handcuff him. On the very first play of the next drive, let him throw.
Oh, he's got some space. The defense got caught that time, and they finally get him on the ground at the 41. They say success rate can be picking up about 4 or so on first down, 1st and 10. Under fire. And that one's incomplete. Worth taking a shot there, but couldn't hook up.
Another off throw from this quarterback, and they knew coming into the game if they were going to have success, they had to be efficient throwing the football, and they have not been that so far. Whether it's been pass pro, bad routes, bad throws, they're not getting it done right now through the air.
Dropping back, it's Underwood. Steps away to find some room. Trying to make magic with his feet. Knocked out of bounds. There zone. Mark it at the 17, and they are set up.
And I love the change in decision-making, right? That was a much better job. Last possession, tried to force it in there, threw the interception. This possession, it's not there. Take off and scramble. Great job. You got enough athletic ability to do that. Big third down conversion by this offense.
This really has been a Jekyll and Hyde story for this quarterback. His last game out, he completed over 80% of his throws, but things just not going his way in this one. You've got to give the defense a ton of credit.
Back in motion, try to clear the picture. They'll run the toss. They could have used a little bit more there. Pick up a 3. It's 3rd and 7.
Well, we know this defense is one that plays with a lot of pride, right? And part of that is their ability stopping the run. They're a top 25 unit in the nation when it comes to stopping the rush, and that really helps them out down here in the red zone. They're going to have to step up big time in this situation.
And this is a really important series of plays, a chance to cut into the lead just before halftime. They'll run it on 1st and goal. And he's stuffed by that big defensive tackle up front. Quick timeout by the defense here, trying to make sure everyone has the same call. And the D deny them on 2nd and goal. Running back looking for the end zone to the left. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield. The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. Looks as if he's going to run it. He cannot get it in. A mere inches away from pay dirt. Quick timeout by the defense here, trying to make sure everyone has the same call. So the offense will try to punch it in here on 4th and goal from the 1. This is a designed run. And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Rutgers.
And they didn't start this first half the way you wanted to, but at least they're ending on a positive note. At least they're saying, guys, we put a drive together. We scored. We need some plays to go our way, but the offense has got some positive momentum, and that is a great thing going into the half.
Let's go to the studio now and check in with Kevin Connors. Kevin, what do you got?
A pair of top 15 teams throwing haymakers today. Let's show you the very latest. South Carolina is down, but they are not out of it. Not there in Columbia, one of the most special places to watch a game in all of college football. It's less than a touchdown lead. They're trailing by 6 to TCU. We'll keep you posted on a Pac-12 showdown that, not surprisingly, guys, is already trending.
Oh, and how about that? I know Kevin and those guys will be keeping an eye on it for us. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Lewis to throw. And the pass rush is effective, and they tackle him at the 19. And the Buffaloes want to pick up the tempo. Looking to go up top, and time's running out in the half. Throws for the tight end. Catch in the middle. It's Atkins. And they'll spot it at the 45. That's good enough for a first down. Running out of time here in the first half. They're going to have to be efficient to put some points on the board before the break. Looking to throw on first down. He lost one down the sideline. Picked off, and they ruin an early drive with the turnover. And he's dragged down after the interception, and that's how we'll close out the first half. We've played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update. Kicker has everything lined up and about set to get this one underway. And he's not going to take the touchback. Gets it across the 20 to the 21, and not quite what he would have picked up just taking the touchback. And the Rutgers offense heads back onto the field. They come into this third quarter with a lot of work they need to get done.
Yeah, and it starts with this possession. And I'm going piece by piece. I know this is coach speak and very simple. I score. I get a stop. I score. I can get back in this game, but it's got to be one drive at a time.
It's going to have to be, but I think the mindset offensively is we're probably going to have to score every time we get it because our defense has been struggling. They have not been getting a lot of stops, so this is a critical drive here for this offense.
Here he goes breaking the pocket. And it'll be incomplete. This is some physical pass defense. And this offense just can't afford not to get the first down here. Already trailing big, and the clock is not their friend. To the air, it's Underwood. Trying to get behind the defense. Another incompletion on third down.
Can't rest on your laurels as a quarterback. We know how much success he had last game when he completed over 70% of his throws. This game, though, he's just a little bit off. At times he looks like he's pressing. He hasn't been overly accurate. That's a reason why he's completing somewhere around 50% of his passes.
Boy, if they don't convert this fourth down, there will be questions to be answered. Motion from the wideout. On fourth down, they'll try to throw it. Unleashes one. Makes a catch. First down and maybe a lot more. And not much of a fourth down gamble when it's that much of a sure thing. An easy conversion for this offense. And the Scarlet Knights have it with a 1st and 10. Creates a little room. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
And I can't tell you how much I love seeing corners being willing to come up and tackle. That is so huge for a defense. You can't olay blocks and create space. You can't just hang out on the outside.
There he goes. They almost got a first down there. Stopped a yard short. It'll be third down. The Scarlet Knights want to crank the tempo. On third and short, they keep it on the ground here. He gets it to the 38-yard line, and they'll pick up a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, a nice job dialing up that short yardage situation play call there, David. They needed 1 yard, and they picked up 2.
Yeah, great job up front. Great job by the back knowing where they need to go. Nice having a hole you can get through and not have to just do it all on your own as a running back.
That's a great example of the defense there tackling the catch. As soon as the big fella caught the ball, down he went, not picking up the first.
Plenty of work to do here on 2nd and long. Back to pass, it's Underwood. Finds his man, it's Strong. Breaks into the open up left. He's brought down, but what a play for this offense, and they'll have it at the 12-yard line. And the Scarlet Knights had tough field position to start this drive, but they've been relentless in moving the ball methodically down the field. Looking downfield on first down. Fires into the end zone. And it's caught. Touchdown, Scarlet Knights.
One of the areas they really focused on with this receiver in the offseason was we need you to make more plays for us in the end zone. When we're taking shots, we need you to be able to step up and make tough catches. And David, what a grab right there.
And I think a lot of that has to do with trusting your guy, knowing where he's going to be, knowing when he's going to sit down, when he's not. So being on the same page, and then having a guy that can go get it. Just when the ball is near him, he's going to make the play, just like he did right there for 6 points.
And a few anxious moments, but the hands team is able to fall on it. Colorado has the ball back, and the Buffaloes hoping to put their team in prime position on offense. He wastes no time and comes out throwing. Just a short pass to the tight end. They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there, and still a little ground covered. Pick up the first. Picked up some yardage with that completion. Now 2nd down. Pressure coming. He'll pull it down and run. Nifty little scamper on this one. Enough for the first down, and he slides in safely.
You know, QBs want to make those big plays. They want to put up the big stats. But when nothing's there, sometimes you just tuck the ball, get a minimal gain. I like the slide, by the way, too. Get down and don't take a big hit.
Looking to throw on first down. Catch in the middle, it's Miller. They'll get it down to the 8-yard line on that throw and catch, and the defense is backed up against the wall.
Really nice job by the quarterback understanding I needed to throw this ball hard. Like, I got to fit it in there tight. And a nice job by the wide receiver wearing it, because he really didn't have a choice, because he was going to wear that one regardless.
And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage. The terrain gets rough this deep in the red zone. Third down, they can't pick up the first without scoring. The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. Really need to pick up this conversion and avoid having to settle for the field goal. They'll move the wide receiver. Lewis wants to pass. Touchdown, Colorado! Fit it in the window for the score.
Really nice job working the route, getting himself open, and he's able to locate the football, snag it out of the air, and this guy now has 5 receiving touchdowns on the year.
Play the analytics here, you go for 2. Snaps it in the shotgun. Oh, they're after him. Looking, trying to escape, cannot. The sack thwarts the 2-point try. Kickoff unit is out there again, and this crowd is feeling themselves after that last drive. And he's going to bring this one out. He was hoping for something a little more dynamic, but they get him on the ground at the 20. lot of field in front of them as they open this possession from their own 20. Trying to start the drive with a pass. That's reeled in. It's strong. Turning it on. Still on his feet. Big pickup on that one. They'll mark him out at the 40.
And as a defense, how scary is it having to defend this guy? He's one of the fastest players in America, and you saw it on that last play. It's not necessarily throwing him the ball over your head. They just get it to him quickly. The hard part now is running and tackling that guy. Not easy to do.
Tackled almost immediately. They're well short of the first down. They're dealing with a second and long. Looking downfield, it's Underwood. And it'll be incomplete. This defense is physical in pass deep.
Not many receivers like to get hit. They just don't, okay? They're prima donnas. That's what they are. That's who they are. Nice job by the defender. You could tell when he was catching the football, he was going to put a hit on him to make sure he had to think about something later, and you could see the ball pop out and fall to the ground.
Now he's got it all the way down to the 21-yard line, and they are threatening on first down. Wants to throw on first down. Got his man. Got some room, headed to the goal line. Touchdown, Scarlet Knights. Nice catch and good work afterwards to get it into the end zone. Sometimes we ask coaches about halftime adjustments, and they go blah, 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 blah. And then sometimes they make some good ones.
Sometimes that blah, 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 blah actually works, but it's working now. But it might be too little too late, but at least you got the party started.
And he made the extra point without problem. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. And they finish things off with a 21-yard touchdown pass. Quick timeout by the defense there, trying to make sure everyone has the same call. They've got it to a 2-possession game, but now going for the onside kick here in the third quarter. Not much drives more anxiety than waiting to see if the hands team can corral the onside kick, and they do. We'll see if they have enough time to get another snap before the clock hits 0. To the air on first down. to the wideout. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. Touchdown, Bucks! And they take it in for 6 more points.
You know, quarterbacks and receivers, they develop confidence and chemistry as the game goes on. These two right now are definitely on the same page.
Lewis to throw. To the end zone, and it's picked off.
I love the coverage by the defense right here. Great job getting up in their space. Nothing easy down here for a 2-point conversion. The interception was just gravy.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. That ball scoots through the back of the end zone, and it'll be a touchback. They'll be able to get off one more play before quarter's end. From the gun, leaves it on the inside with the back. And he is stopped for no gain, and that will bring us to the end of the third quarter. Guys, Colorado has the lead here. And they've built a comfortable lead after 3 quarters of play. Let's take a look at how we've gotten here. We can only imagine more fireworks ahead here in the fourth. To the air on second down. Makes the grab on the left. And that completion good for a short game, but they still have some work to do to pick up the first down. Wants to throw on third. Snagged in the middle. It's ball. Love to see these third down conversions on offense, and they're their own 39-yard line.
Man, I love on third down when I know I have a running back that can beat guys. Whether you want to cover me with a linebacker or a safety, I can run an angle route, and I can have success because my quarterback knows exactly when he's getting.
Breaks into the open. And perhaps a touchdown-saving tackle as they get him down at the 37.
This defense has really done a good job containing this superstar quarterback. But now it's a big-time moment. In the fourth quarter, you know the ball's going to be in his hands. Got to get to him. Got to ruffle his.
Pressure is effective from the defense. They knock him down just behind the midfield stripe at the 48.
And I tell you what, this defense, they've heard all about how great this quarterback is. They came in today with a mission, with a.
He's got it at the 25. He's finally stopped, but not before he takes it into the red zone. They'll mark it at the 18.
Let's go. We got some life. We made a big play, something to build off of. We need a lot of points, and we need them quickly. Time's running out. We're trailing big in this ballgame.
Picked up maybe a yard. It's down at the 16.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. And a lot of times we don't focus on it enough. But how important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
Stopped at the 13-yard line as the drive continues. The Scarlet Knights want to move quickly. Defense in press coverage. Motion from the back. To the air, it's Underwood. Now he's going to break the pocket. They'll force him out of bounds after a solid pickup on the play.
And I really like the belief and the discipline by this QB because he drops back He wants to throw the football. He sees it's covered, but he says, I can go get it, and takes off and barely gets enough for the first down. But way to pull the trigger, run it, and run it with authority.
On the move. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
There is nowhere to run and nowhere to hide on these situations. You know the physical ground game comes into play inside the 5-yard line, and they match the intensity. Nice job. Everybody flying around to the football, making the tackle for a loss.
And the pressure gets there. And down he goes at the 18.
This quarterback has been under duress all game long. He's one of the best in the country, and he's used to having his way. He's the one who's used to dictating to opposing defenses, but that has not been the case in this game. Here we are late. He's still under pressure, taking a sack there.
Tackled there by the defense. A field goal is not top the list of most helpful things at this juncture, so they'll go for it on 4th down. Two minutes now left in this one, and time is running short if they want to find a way to pull this one out. A field goal really doesn't do much for you in this situation, so they'll go for it on 4th and goal. Wide receiver comes in motion. Back to throw, it's Underwood. Unleashes to the end zone. Oh, it's picked off.
Well, man, we've seen explosive offensive firepower all game long, and here we are late in an obvious passing situation trying to get this thing close. The big INT, finally the defense makes a play, and David, it looks like they just closed the door on this one.
Well, and you know, Mr. Quarterback, defense wins championships. And how do you seal a game? The defense coming up with a big moment. Yes, obvious passing situation. You know they're going to throw it. The big INT, and that might seal their fate.
Might be calling a hot route. They'll go to work in the air on 2nd down. And he was drilled just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
And this offensive line's got to do a little better job, man. You've got to give your quarterback time to go through his progressions, from go to 1 to 2, and then maybe make a play. And he goes off of his first target, and you could tell he did not have much time getting hit as he's trying to throw the football. You've got to protect your quarterback.
That's caught. It's Miller. They stay aggressive and push their way out to the 33, and it's 1st down. And the Buffaloes headed quickly to the line. Wants to go up top on 1st down. Makes the grab. And how about that? What the doctor always ordered. An explosive play to the 40. Looks as if they're going to get the W behind a really good performance from their passing attack and maybe hold that edge in the rankings as well, fellas.
They're going to hold the edge. They're going to create some separation, too, I think, because of the throwing ability. This quarterback came into this game lighting it up. We knew in the preseason this guy had talent, but against an opponent like this, David, it's impressive to see his performance.
Well, it's one thing to have talent, but to get all the talent.
A shot toward the end zone. Touchdown, Buffaloes! And the stomping has commenced. They extend this lead, and it looks as if they are going to make it 2 wins in a row.
There's no mercy rule in college football, man. They've got a huge lead here in the 4th quarter. They are still chucking it, and they are still scoring.
The fake and a little shuffle. He's not going to make it. Stopped short of the goal line, and they are unable to extend this lead any further. They're set to kick it off, and this crowd now ready to get behind them. And he's not going to take a knee. Here he comes. He's brought down at the 16. Would have been much better off to take the touchback. We'll see what they can do on this drive that starts at the 16-yard line. Back to pass, it's Underwood. He wants a big play here late. Got him downfield. Just what they were looking for to get this drive rolling. They're out to the 35. Looking to throw on first down. Looking to scramble. A deep throw as the clock winds down. And this is dropped. Incomplete pass. He had a huge gain in his fingers, and he couldn't hold on. Working well behind the sticks on second down. Back to pass. Now moving to his right, looking for anyone that's open. Got out of trouble and throws. But it's incomplete, and this sophomore quarterback usually makes that throw every time.
And this is just one of those days, man, where everything has gone wrong, right? Like they just haven't been in a rhythm. They haven't got it going and never built the momentum. This is one of those days that you learn from, you try to grow from. A lot of things that we're going to show in the film room that people aren't going to like, but hopefully you can learn from it and do better next time.
That pass not close as he got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up fourth down. Timeout called by the offense. We have 18 seconds left. 3 straight misfires has left them staring at 4th and 10, but they'll try it again. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. Here's a heat. Drilled as he throws, and they stop him on 4th down with the heat.
There's not many play calls